All right, guys. This is some special news. This is the news that I have been actually expecting. This is the news that I have been waiting for. This is the news that most Zambians have actually been waiting for. I know a lot of people that support PF and the Lungu family may not have been waiting for this particular news, but this is for Zambians, guys. This is a special news for the Zambians. Imagine being deprived of the opportunity to actually mourn your former president. Being told that your former president is actually going to be buried in a foreign land. Imagine that. So a few weeks ago, actually, when these wrangles between the government of the Republic of Zambia and the Lungu family began, I actually put up a post on my Facebook page and I said, whatever the case may be, the former Zambian president is actually going to be, the remains of the former president are actually going to be repatriated back to Zambia. And today, I'm actually bringing to you guys some special news because there's been an announcement that the Attorney General of Zambia, now the Attorney General, for those that may not know, is somebody that speaks on behalf of the Zambian people, okay, on behalf of the government of Zambia. Now, that is in terms of legal issues. Now, this Attorney General that we have has actually sued, or should I say, he has actually sued the Lungu family and the people that are preventing, the people that are about to take away the opportunity of each and every Zambian of viewing the body of the late President Dr. Edgar Lungu, the ones that are about to deprive us Zambians an opportunity to accord, the former president our last respect. They are about to take away that opportunity, but the Attorney General has sued in the Guantanamo court in Pretoria that the burial is not going to actually take place. It was supposed to actually take place today, so they have said that it's not going to happen, until these issues are actually sorted. The issues regarding it should actually be buried. Is it in South Africa or in Zambia? Until all these issues have actually been sorted out, that is when the burial is actually going to take place. And this is a good, can I say, this is actually a good step towards what I actually mentioned in my post, that whatever the case may be, his remains should actually be brought back to Zambia. This is a good step towards that, and I pray that this goes through and the former Zambian president, Dr. Edgar Lungu, should be brought back. The remains should be brought back to Zambia so that we Zambians mourn him nicely, mourn him and pay our last respect. So let us just get to see what is actually happening. I'm just going to take you to Kalemba so that we see what they actually wrote and what is actually happening here. Okay, let's go. I show you. I'm just going to read through to you guys. This is an online newspaper that is trustworthy. So let us read. And I'm actually, at the end of it, I'm actually going to look at the court papers themselves and see what they're actually saying. Okay. All right, guys. So here we go. Let's look at what is happening in South Africa. So there was actually some breaking news some time ago. This says, let us look at what Kalemba is, one of the online newspapers that we have in Zambia, and this is what they actually said. Kalemba here. So this is actually here online, guys. Don't say it's fake news, but it's here published by one of these trusted sources. And here it says, Attorney General Kabesha moves to stop Lungu burial in South Africa. And it goes on here and says, the burial of former President Edgar Lungu, scheduled for South Africa tomorrow, meaning today, may be hampered by legal proceedings that have been instituted by Zambia's Attorney General, that is Mulilo Kabesha, in the Gauteng Division of the High Court of South Africa, Pretoria. Okay, and here they go on and says, the suit, which is directed against former First Lady Esther Lungu, 4 of Lungu's children, along with family lawyer Makebi Zulu and the company running the morgue where his remains have been kept, is seeking an interim court order to prevent the burial of Lungu, who died in South Africa about 3 weeks ago. Okay, that is what it's saying here. And then you guys should be able to see. Let me just move myself here. Here again, they go on and says the Attorney General is requesting that no burial take place until all disputes regarding Dr. Lungu's final resting place are resolved. Specifically, whether it should be interred in Zambia with full military honors, customs, and traditions as mandated by Zambian law and in keeping with public interest. Wow, this is very interesting. And then right here again, they go on and say, in his application, the Attorney General contends that a state funeral for a former Zambian head of state is a formal public event governed by strict military protocols and intended to honor individuals of national significance. Okay, and then they go on here. Kabesha further argues that even if it were true, a point he denies, that the late president wished not to have a state funeral, such personal wishes must yield to the greater public interest. This is very interesting, guys. And then they go on here. They say the Attorney General also cites legal precedents, noting that the Zambian courts previously set aside the burial wishes of the nation's founding president, that is Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. And guys, if you remember some of my past posts, I actually mentioned this. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, in favor of public interest considerations relating to interment at Embassy Park. Remember that this is a case where I'm just going to pause a little bit here. This is a case where the founding father of Zambia, that is Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, the family wanted him to be buried where his wife was buried, that is Mama Betty Kaunda, where she was buried. That's where the family wanted him to be buried, saying that was his wish. But public interest and the Zambian courts ruled in favor of the people of Zambia, in favor of the wishes of Zambian people, not in favor of the family's wishes and people like that. So this is the case they are citing here. That he was supposed to be buried where the former president is supposed to be buried, which is at Embassy Park. I actually did a video about Embassy Park on my other channel called Samson the Roadman, and that video has more than 500,000 views. So guys, go and check it out. You see where Zambian presidents are actually buried, the place called the Embassy Park. Just Google Embassy Park and my video will be one of the top videos that is actually going to be seen there. Okay, and so here let's continue reading here. It goes on here and says those named in the lawsuit include former First Lady Esther Nyawa Lungu, Betha Lungu, Tasila Lungu, Chieso Lungu, Dadiso Lungu, Charles Piri, and Makebi Zulu, who is actually the lawyer for the family, okay, at this particular time. Okay, and then let's go on here. It says again, the Attorney General has additionally named two mountains Pty, which is the morgue where Dr. Lungu's remains are currently held, as a respondent. Okay, and then they go on here and say this action has been brought before the Pretoria High Court under Article 177, Section 5, subsection C of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, in the Attorney General's capacity as government representative and protector of the Zambian public interest. Okay, so very good, Attorney General. Here they go ahead and say, hearing of the interim
hearing of the interim application against the barrio is expected to be heard tomorrow, meaning today, guys, by 8 hours. So in the next few minutes, the court is actually going to sit and hear this particular case. And this was written by Kalemba, by Sharon Zulu, Kalemba, June 24th, 2025. Thumbs up, Sharon Zulu. Thank you so much for such kind of information. And thank you so much to the Attorney General for this. Okay. And you can see here, this is the Attorney General himself right here, guys. Thank you so much, Attorney General. You're doing a good job.
All right, that is it, guys. So hope you found value from what I've shared with you. Remember to like the video, subscribe as well, so that you guys, you don't miss any single time I post a new video, especially that we're looking at all these events that are actually happening in this part of the world. And if you're interested in them, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share for more. And I know that this case is actually going to take place today in the next 1 hour or so. The court is actually going to sit and they're going to discuss this issue. They are going to adjudicate, about this particular issue. So whatever the results that is actually going to come of Pretoria's High Court, I'll be here, guys, to share it with you, and I'll be here to break it down, look at the court papers. And to being a Zambian, I'll be very happy if the court actually rules in favor of the Zambian government, so that the remains of our former head of state can actually be repatriated to Zambia, so that us Zambians, we can actually mourn him on our land here. We can actually mourn him and pay our last respect to him, because he was our former president. And like I said, this should be treated as the public interest, not taken as a family affair thing. It would be very shameful if it would be very, very, very shameful, guys, if we can actually bury our president in a foreign land. He shouldn't be buried in exile. And whoever has been preaching that that's the right way to go, no, these are family issues. This is a family wishes. I mean, guys, you are wrong. In as much as it may be the family wishes, the public interest should come first, not the family. No, because this one was a special person. He wasn't just an ordinary individual. This is why some comedian in Zambia actually said, even when voting, you should have told us to say, no, this guy is a family thing. We should have let people that were actually his family to vote for him. But now, this is a person that we elevated from Chawama, from a neighborhood, a ghetto in Chawama. We elevated him from there to an MP, and from there we elevated him to a position of a minister, and later on a president. Okay, why didn't you say that, no, leave it to us as a family, we are going to do all these things for him? No, when he got to the level of a president, he now becomes a state property. We have a stake. We need to have a say as Zambians, because we've actually had a say throughout his stages of life. So why should you come today and say, no, this is his family thing, we are going to bury him far away from you guys? Does the Lungu family hate us that much? Does the Lungu family hate us that much? They want to take away the opportunity for us as Zambians to actually mourn our former president in peace. Those are questions that people have to ask with a sober mind. Like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? These things have to be treated with a sober mind. But like I said in my other video, this is a family that is grieving. This is a family that is, they have that hate. They've been hurt, and they have that hate in them. Looking at how events have panned out towards, looking at how things were happening towards the death of the former president. So they've been hurt. So they may not make the right decision at this particular moment, and it's time that elders should actually come up. If you look at these children who are being mentioned in this particular indictment, these are young guys. These are young people who can't make such tricky decisions at this particular time. They need elders to actually guide them. And if elders are not there, the Attorney General is actually going to do it, and you've seen that already he's making that step. So let's see what the court is actually going to say today. And guys, I'm actually going to get back to you and give you an update. Okay, thank you so much for coming back to this particular channel, Truth Only. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in my next video. My name is Samson. Bye-bye. Take care of yourselves.